Remember how people found that if you asked DeepSeek what model it was, it sometimes said it was an OpenAI model? Well, OpenAI says it has seen some evidence that DeepSeek used Distillation to train its open source competitor by using outputs from OpenAI's proprietary models. Quoting the FT, the technique is used by developers to obtain better performance on smaller models by using outputs from larger, more capable ones, allowing them to achieve similar results on specific tasks at a much lower cost. Distillation is a common practice in the industry, but the concern was that DeepSeek may be doing it to build its own rival model, which is a breach of OpenAI's terms of service. The issue is when you take it out of the platform and are doing it to create your own model for your own purposes, said one person close to OpenAI. OpenAI declined to comment further or provide details of its evidence. Its terms of service state users cannot copy any of its services or, quote, use output to develop models that compete with OpenAI, end quote. And quoting Bloomberg, Microsoft security researchers in the fall observed individuals they believe may be linked to DeepSeek exfiltrating a large amount of data using the OpenAI Application Programming Interface, or API, said the people, who asked not to be identified because the matter is confidential. Software developers can pay for a license to use the API to integrate OpenAI's proprietary artificial intelligence models into their own applications. Microsoft, an OpenAI technology partner and its largest investor, notified OpenAI of the activity, the people said. Such activity could violate OpenAI's terms of service or could indicate the group acted to remove OpenAI's restrictions on how much data they could obtain, the people said. We know PRC-based companies and others are constantly trying to distill the models of leading U.S. AI companies, an OpenAI spokesperson said in the statement, referring to the People's Republic of China. As the leading builder of AI, we engage in countermeasures to protect our IP, including a careful process for which frontier capabilities to include in release models, and believe as we go forward that it is critically important that we are working closely with the U.S. government to best protect the most capable models from efforts by adversaries and competitors to take U.S. technology, end quote. In its own research, DeepSeek said it had distilled models from its R1 system based on other open source systems. Unlike OpenAI's closed systems, some models such as Meta's Llama are open source and freely available for use, end quote. More of a roundup of DeepSeek takes. ASML reported earnings yesterday, and they were fine. Stock is up. But believe me, people probably didn't want to have to report earnings this week in the midst of this DeepSeek brouhaha. ASML CEO Christophe Fouquet said cheaper AI, quote, could mean more applications and more demand over time, and cost and energy are the big issues to address. And Meta executives say DeepSeek's breakthrough shows that upstarts now have a chance to innovate and compete with AI giants and vindicates the open source strategy. Our open source strategy was validated, said Raghavan Srinivasan, a Meta vice president, in an interview on Tuesday. The more people who have access to the technology needed to move things forward faster, the better, end quote.